Welcome to the second and last section of this course. This course is called Being the Data Nerd of Your Team. And the reason it's called that is because in this section, we're going to focus a lot on data sharing and team collaboration. So we have some really exciting things to look at. Now, as you can see, this section is a little shorter, but no less important. In the first video, we'll look at the differences between sharing reports and sharing dashboards and what their pros and cons are. And the rest of this video will be focusing on that. Now, the second video, collaborating on Microsoft Teams, is where we'll take a look at the new chat-based workspace in Office 365, which really helps streamline team collaboration. In the third and final video of this course, Overview and Staying Up to Date, first I'll provide a summary of the major points that we discussed throughout this course. Then I'll take you on a tour of how you can stay up to date in this ever-changing landscape in the world of data analytics. So let's get into our first subject, be kind and share. With whom and how? Power BI makes it easy to share reports and dashboards, therefore enabling the whole team to stay informed and make well-informed business decisions. However, sharing reports and sharing dashboards aren't exactly the same thing. There's differences between them. So we're going to cover those differences as well as the pros and cons of both. Okay, here we are back in Power BI Service, and I have up here the sample sales analysis report that we've used in other videos, and I'm going to use this report to demonstrate how you can share reports. Now, in order to share a report, all you do is go up here to File, and then you'll see that there's different ways to share the report. You have Publish to Web, Embed in SharePoint Online, which is in Preview, and then export to PowerPoint, which is also in preview. And of course, if you wanted to, you could download the report, which just creates a download of the PBIX file, and then you can share that PBIX file with whoever you want. What I'm going to cover is export to PowerPoint and publish to web. So first, let's go ahead and click on Export to PowerPoint. Okay, we see down here that my PowerPoint export is ready to be downloaded. So I'll go ahead and click that. Okay, and this is what we get when we export the report to PowerPoint. This is the generic default first page. And you can see down here we have the date and time of the last data refresh and when it was downloaded. And of course we could go here to the actual report page, and then we could easily share this report with others and present it in the context of a business presentation. If you're regularly having business meetings throughout the week or whatever it may be, and you're often looking through reports, this can be a really easy way to incorporate Power BI reports in your PowerPoint presentations. Okay, we're back in Power BI Service now, and we're going to go back here to File, and I'm going to show you how to share a report via Publish to Web. So just click on here. Here it says get a link or embed code that you can include on a website or send an email. Publish a live version that will remain synchronized with the source report in Power BI. Any changes you make to the report will immediately be reflected in this version. So that's one of the really neat features of sharing a report this way, is that it stays up to date. So you can share the URL that will be created this way with someone, and you only have to share it with them once. You don't have to keep sending them new URLs after updating or refreshing the data. There is synchronization between the report and the URL. So just go over here to Create Embed Code. And what this is telling us here is essentially it's giving us a warning that once this report is published, then anyone on the internet will have access to it as long as they have access to that URL. Alright, so we'll go to Publish. And here we have different options. First, we have a link that you can send in an email. This is a URL link. And here we have HTML code with an iframe. So if you want to embed this report in a website, then of course you would click on this and copy that and paste that into your HTML code. And then of course you have different sizes. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to worry about the HTML one, but we're just going to look at the URL here, which can be easily shared in emails. So I'll click on this and copy it, and then I'll close this, and I'll open up a new tab here, and just paste that. Now, of course, this is a really long URL. If you wanted to, you could, of course, shorten the URL with Google URL shortener or whatever it may be, and then share that shortened URL, which will be a lot easier. I'm not going to worry about that right now though, and we'll just hit enter. And here we have our report. So this report is now made public, and anyone who has this URL can essentially access this report. And this is actually a method I utilize on a daily basis for the company I work for. For example, one of the things I do is I update a weather report on a daily basis, and I've already published that weather report in this manner. I have a URL that I share that I have pasted in an email, and every morning I send out an email to executives with updated information and graphs, and all they have to do is click on that URL and they'll be taken to the weather report. And of course, that weather report, it's not sensitive data, so it really doesn't matter if someone else outside of the company stumbles upon that report. So just keep in mind that you want to be careful which reports you share in this manner. Okay, here we are back in Power BI Service. Now, before I wrap things up here, I actually want to demonstrate one more thing. And this is called Analyze in Excel. And I want to demonstrate this because it is somewhat related. It's not exactly the same thing because you're not actually sharing the report that you see here, but you can analyze the underlying data in Excel, and so create tables and charts in Excel however you want, and then save that file and share it with others in your company or whoever it may be. So it's still somewhat related. And in order to do that, all you do is go up here to the ellipses and click on Analyze in Excel. Now, if you're doing this for the first time, you will see a prompt that pops up asking you to download this feature or to install this feature. I didn't get that prompt because I've already done it, but I want you to be aware that you will see that. Okay, so our download is ready here, so I'll just click on that. Okay, so here we have the sample sales data, and as you can see here, here's the underlying data with all the tables and the fields. And if you wanted to, you could feed fields into this pivot table here. You could create data visualizations, whatever you wanted to do. You can analyze the data in different ways here in Excel, and then of course save the file and share it with whoever you want. Okay, so we've seen how to share Power BI reports. Now let's go ahead and see how to share Power BI dashboards. And sharing dashboards is a lot easier. One of the reasons why is because, well, as of now, there's only one way to do it. So go over here to Share, and you get this little window that pops up. And if you click on Access here, what this tells you is who already has access to this dashboard. And as you can see, I at this time am the only one who has access to this dashboard. So if you want to share a dashboard with others, all you do is input their email here. However, the thing is, it has to be a company email. It can't be Gmail or Yahoo or whatever it may be. It can't be a personal email. It has to be a company-based email. And then once you've input those email addresses here, then you can include an optional message here, maybe giving a description of the dashboard and why it is you're sharing it with them. And then you have the options down here to allow the recipients to share your dashboard and also to send them an email notification that you've shared this dashboard with them. So in comparison to sharing Power BI reports, sharing Power BI dashboards are actually much more secure because you can restrict who has access to it. So we really see the pros and cons between the two starting to take shape. You have more options with the reports, whereas you only have this one option with the dashboards. However, the good thing about dashboards is it's more secure. So these are just things that you're going to have to think through when it comes to choosing who you want to share with and how. Okay, let's do a quick summary of the things we covered. When it comes to sharing reports, we saw that there's several ways of doing that. You can publish to the web, which is creating that URL, and you can even get that HTML code in order to embed the report on a website. You can embed it in SharePoint Online. You can export it to PowerPoint, which we saw. You can share that URL link created from publish to web via email. However, keep in mind that technically the report is still public. And then of course we saw that you can analyze the data in Excel and save and share that file. And then lastly, when it comes to sharing dashboards, it's very simple and straightforward. There's one means of doing that, and that is basically sharing via email but using company email. So basically what you're doing is you're using people's company email to send them an invitation, to invite them to that dashboard, to give them access to that dashboard. So only those who have been invited, who have been given access, will have access to that dashboard. So of course it's much more secure. You're just limited on the options of sharing.